So you know the ones when you're listening to a song that you really like and you're like, that's my tune.
That's my tune.
Hey, this is Jojo B and this is episode 23 of That's My Tune, the podcast providing song reviews and interviews. The previous episode we were vibing to some Kurt Franklin, hey. But this time round, I'm going to be interviewing the lovely Dede regarding her song Stupid Is As Stupid Does. Yes, interesting title, I know. We'll be exploring the song in more depth in just a moment, but until then, enjoy the song and I'll be right back. So everybody, I'd like to introduce you to Dayday. Woo!
Hi. Woo! Hello.
Hey, how you doing? You good?
I'm okay, thank you. I was just saying, it's my first time on a podcast. I'm a bit nervous, so you have to bear with me. And I do talk a lot. I ramble. So you have to stop me if I'm rambling, please.
Oh, don't worry. It's okay.
Thank you.
I got you. So Dede, where are you from? Your name is unusual. Please tell me where you're from. What's your background?
So I'm part Togolese and part Bajan, and my
Ooh.
name is Togolese. So I'm a Bajan with a Togolese name, but I'm from South London, Croydon, and South London in the house. My parents met here in London actually, so yeah, that's how that blend came together, I suppose. But that's me really, like South London girl, Thornton Heath.
Your parents, like who's Bajan and who's Togolese?
My mum is Bajan and my dad is Togolese.
Nice.
Yeah.
So which part do you lean towards more, the Bajan side or the Togolese side?
Oh, this is such a hard question, you know. I don't know. If I speak to one parent, it's one. If I speak to another, it's the other.
Okay.
But to be honest, they brought us, like, I've got two brothers and they brought us up. Well, my oldest brother is part Nigerian actually.
Okay.
But they brought us up kind of like respecting both cultures.
Right. Okay.
And my mum grew up here anyway. She's been here since she was a kid. So
okay.
To be honest, it's just a meet in the middle kind of thing. There isn't really, it's weird. It's really weird.
Cool.
I think it'd be different if I speak Mina. You know, they speak Mina in Togo. If I could speak like that, then I think it would be a bit different, but I can't. So and so there we go.
I hear you saying. So being part Bajan, are you into soca music by any chance?
Not really, no. Again, like my mum used to play a bit of it when we was growing up, but again, like she's been here since she was a kid, so she only has like a lot of childhood memories from Barbados. You know what I mean? So it's only like carnival and so like that kind of stuff, and you kind of get, I don't know, like a lot of my family, they've been here for a long time, a long time. So it's just one of those things. I've got like bits of each. But it's that's what it is.
Okay, cool. So do you feel like you have kind of lost out not knowing much about like both heritages, or are you okay the way you are?
Yes and no, I would say. Like, I suppose you go to both and you're kind of like a little bit foreign. Like I went to Togo not too long ago, 2019. And I was a foreigner. I was just I can speak French. Like my French is quite decent, but even then in Togo, like I didn't realize this, but they don't speak French like day to day. And so if you start speaking French to people, they start looking at you like you're black and you're speaking French, and I can hear you're not French and you're weird. So I was getting the madness. I was getting mad. Like it was really funny. But I don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you. I think wherever you go, like you're gonna be a bit out of sorts, but I still love I feel like I've got like my roots are there, if that makes sense. Like when I go, I feel like I'm from there. So I haven't missed out.
Okay, cool. So let's discuss your song Stupid Is Stupid Does. Now the title alone is hilarious. I need to know what inspired you to write Stupid Is Stupid Does. Tell me about the title first, actually.
Okay, so really simply, it's just straight from Forrest Gump. I think everyone's seen this film, and I think I saw it. I don't remember when I saw it. It wasn't, you know, when people see films like when they come out. I'm not one of those people. Like I'll see them like 10, 15 years later or something like that. Like I'm really slow with films. Like really slow. And so I don't know how long ago, but then it just stuck in my head and I was like, that's a really good name for a song title. And a lot of the time when I do songwriting, I don't always, but I do tend to write from title. It's just a way that I think it's easier. So I get a list of titles, and anything that comes to my head, like I just jot it down, and then when I'm songwriting, it's like, okay, let's try that title today and see what happens. So it was lying around, and this was like 2017.
Right.
I don't know if you know that film, that program Dr. Foster. Do you remember that? Do you remember that Middle England program?
No, I don't.
You don't. It was like that drama where like the husband was cheating on the wife with the girl in the town, and then he tried to make it seem like she was crazy. Like it's mad. But anyway, the second series of that came out, and there was a scene where he was going to kill himself,
right?
And the doctor was like, I've left all the things from like medical things that you can commit suicide, like I've left them in the hotel room.
Wow.
And I was watching this and I was like, this is madness. Like
that's crazy.
This is mad. Like they're having English breakfast, and she's like, right, you can go and kill yourself now. Like that was literally the scene. And I think at the time everyone was watching it and were like, this is horrible, and that stuck in my head. And then when I took the title to my producer, a guy called James Chapman, that came to my head, and I was like, do you know what, let's write a song about that. Let's write a song about, you know, that whole scene. So that is literally where that song is from, Dr. Foster, basically. Like it's me being the doctor singing to the cheating husband. That is all it's about.
Wow.
And it took us about 2 weeks to write it.
Wow.
And that's it. Yeah, it's pretty complex.
Wow, that is a mad story though.
Yeah.
What on earth? Wow.
No, you need to watch it. It's on Netflix. You actually have to watch it.
Right.
Need to watch it. BBC. It was BBC, and the first one was like, I think the first one might have even been 2016. The second one was 2017. And they're both mad. So you need to watch it.
Okay. Well, that's a really interesting technique, writing from titles, because usually when I ask an artist, okay, what inspired you to write a song, there's usually some kind of situation. So this is the first time I'm hearing somebody say, oh, I have a list of titles and I take a title and I write around it.
Oh, God, I'm really a technical writer. This kind of annoys like other songwriters when you meet them, when I meet other songwriters though, because everybody has their way. And like, I meet a lot of like, so there's top liners, they're people who work with melody.
Right.
And I met a really amazing top liner. Her name's gone out of my head. I'm sorry. She's super famous though. But her name's just literally left my head. But she writes from melody. And then she'll go and then she'll be inspired by something, blah, 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 blah. I don't work like that. Like my brain just can't, I'm not the best with melody. So I had to find a way to like be able to just like get ideas. And so the best way for me is just to write really interesting titles, and then from there I'll start finding a story, because my life's not that interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Like there's not been a lot of madness,
right?
So it's just like trying to create storylines, and it'll be like, there's one songwriter I met and he always told me about the grain of truth. So the grain of truth is like something genuine that has happened, whether, you know, so it has, even if it's something small, whether like, I don't know, you had an argument with your neighbor or something like that, just something small, and then you turn that into the song. So I always try to do that, but other than that, I haven't had anyone like thrown anyone out of a hotel. Like, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? So,
and I think if you did, that would be best not to mention it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know, like my boyfriend wasn't in jail and all that things there, so you have to be a bit creative. Like,
you know, it's good that you don't have a boyfriend who's in jail. We thank God for that, because you know.
Well, I bet you'll be on Clubhouse in the morning.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Should you date these men in jail? Like, honestly, it would
listen,
be a Clubhouse topic.
I'm saying, listen, I'm not even on Clubhouse because I don't have an iPhone. I have an iPad, but I can't find it. But like, good thing about Clubhouse is that a lot of the conversations tend to come onto the timeline, right?
Yeah.
And I see some of the maddest conversations that take place. And I'm like, oh, people that bored. And then I'm seeing people like who are on Clubhouse for like hours on end. I'm like, do you guys not have a job? And even if you don't have a job for whatever reason, like, are you so bored that I don't know how people do it?
No, it's a lot. I think some people are doing it before work. Yeah. So it's like 7 days, like, you know what I mean? It's like on your lunch break. And it's been a tough time. Like Corona has, you know, meant that some people are not working, and obviously it's really difficult. And I don't blame, like, you know, people doing things like entertainment.
Yeah.
I just think there are just some topics.
Yeah.
I just think like to get your blood pressure that high.
Do you know what I mean?
At 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's a bit much for me. Like I'm trying my best to kind of like stay away, but you know, it's I do understand what's going on. And
are
I
you
think
on Clubhouse?
I am. I try not to talk. I get really nervous to talk. You know, I'm actually surprised I'm talking to you now, because sometimes I know it's really weird. No, sometimes I just get a bit like, just before you speak, I get really nervous. So with Clubhouse, I try to just listen, and I try to like see what's going on. I did go on. I'm not gonna lie. I was on stage for Hinges the Ghetto because I had a story to tell. I'm not gonna lie. Let's not lie. So yeah, I did Hinges the Ghetto, and then I didn't do any others. I've just been listening and like seeing what people are talking about. And just seeing what's going on. It's really fascinating, some of it, honestly. Like some of it's gold as well. Some of it's like some conversations are incredible, and some you're just like, oh my god, like what on earth? Like what is happening? So yeah.
It's nuts. But like I want to know about your Hinge story. You need to
okay. Oh no, I can't. No, please.
Okay, all right, fine. It's for the Clubhouse man.
It wasn't crazy. It wasn't the crazy. I thought mine was a bit crazy, but it was just a case of, you know, I went to a very nice establishment in London, and the chap decided that it was high time to start an argument with me in the restaurant, referencing various religious texts. And raising his voice and all kind of madness. And you know, I studied politics for my degree, so I'm quite good at debating and arguing. It's a skill, you know. I don't necessarily even have to believe what I'm saying. I'm just good at arguing. So I was able to kind of like bring it down and get it to like a logical place. And then he literally started eating his food again, and then he was like, you know what, like you're really good at arguing. And I was like, bruv, like I did not leave my house to come and sit here with my pheasant and argue with you. Like I really didn't. So it was a lot. It was a lot.
You're good at arguing.
No, it was like, I'm so impressed. And I was like, what, is this a test? Like, is this some sort of, what's going on? Where are the cameras? It was a bit mad. I was a bit, it was a lot. It was just such a long day as well. And I was just like, I didn't come all the way from Croydon to Mayfair to wherever. Where are we? Mayfair. Yeah. Like, yeah. I've had a lot of crazy dates.
That is wow.
When I listened to that room, I was like, oh my God, mine are nothing.
Yeah.
Mine are nothing. Like, these are just, there's some madness going on. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the music.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool. No, it's fine. It's hilarious. I loved it. Don't worry about it. But there's another interesting thing about you. So not only do you sing, before we get to that, right, so you did a video, you shot a video for Stupid Is Stupid Does.
Yes.
So what was the process like? Because it dropped during Corona, right? So
yes.
How were you able to navigate through that? Please tell me.
Okay. So I dropped the song in like May. So basically I was with a publishing company. I was signed.
Right.
And I left at the beginning of last year. We just had some creative differences, and I was advised to kind of just be independent. So I've got all this music, and I was like, some of it's mastered, sorry, some of it isn't. I don't really know what to do with it. I'm on my own. So I was like, okay, now the pandemic is here. I don't know what I'm doing. And my mentor was just my lawyer. He was just like, you know, just put some stuff out, like see what happens. Like just let your art live. And I was like, what? And he was like, he's like, just let it live. And I was like, okay. So I dropped that song in May.
Yeah.
And then I just put it on my Instagram and Twitter, and it got a bit of traction. You know, I got a radio interview from that, and it got a bit of traction. I was like, okay, cool. And then the pandemic, so I didn't have any money, and there was nothing was open. So I just kind of left it, and then I was asked to do 2 commission pieces. So one was for Croydon something called the Croydon Composers. Okay. So you write with different writers and you make a song. So I did that, and then I did a commission piece for the London Mozart Players, and we just finished filming that at the beginning of last week. So that was all kind of like October, November. I was like super busy, like writing and all of that. And then we had the second lockdown, another lockdown, and then we were let out again, and I thought, you know what, I've got a bit of money now. Why don't I just see if I can do a video? And the guy who did the Croydon composers thing was like, oh, I can help you, I'm you know, I'm a videographer. But so he just came on board, and it was really simple. The only thing I wanted was a window. This is gonna sound I just wanted a window. I was like, where can we get a window from? And I got that idea from Massive Attack, you know, that band from the 90s. And they're still around, but they're a massive like trip hop hip hop band, and they had this video called Protection, and basically the camera is just moving in and out of a flat. And I was like, I really want to do something like that, but obviously I don't have that, you know, I don't have thousands. So he the videographer managed to find a window somehow. I have no idea where he got it from. I think it was like 20 quid, it was mad. So then he found like fishing wire, and so we rigged this fake window to the top of the studio with sandbags at the other side, and that was it. Like, and it was honestly, it's like a photography studio. It's really small. There was me, a videographer, my guitarist, another camera guy, and then the person running the studio, and that was it. There was literally 5 people. And we shot that in about 6 hours. It was so simple. I'm telling you, there was hardly any of us. It didn't take very long. And that's what came out. So that was just before. So the lockdown, the latest one, it was about 2 weeks before that. And that was it.
Oh, really cool. Okay, so let's rewind back to the past. So what got you into singing? Do you have a musical family or something that you're the only one that does? Okay.
No, everyone's like an academic. My brother's just become a barrister. My oldest brother is working for the Home Office. My mum and dad were both teachers. No one is musical in my family, like at all. I was just always like, my mum, when I was growing up, like, you know, the kind of like middle class Black parents like push you to do ballet, like if you're good at something, okay, we'll get you some piano lessons, like that kind of thing. But I don't think anyone ever thought that I was going to pursue like seriously.
Professionally.
They were just like, oh, you know, you've got some talents, let's nurture them. So I started piano, and then I did the flute, so I play like a few instruments. And then singing, I was always like a natural singer, but I had singing lessons, so I was taught kind of quite, I wouldn't say classical, but quite straight singing, but I always had like a kind of soulful voice, you know, I'm from South, like R&B is kind of around, you know what I mean, it's around, like it's just what you do kind of thing. So I always had that kind of voice, even though I was being taught like Latin or to sing in German or to sing in French or that kind of thing. So over time, I suppose my voice, I just developed a bit of more control over time. And then that was it. I just kind of decided I was just gonna continue, and songwriting, I suppose, was the hard thing. Songwriting is really difficult. Like, don't let anybody tell you anything else. Like, it's really bloody hard, and it's a skill. And I wasn't I had a bit of something, but I wasn't naturally good at it. And that took a while to like hone. Being a songwriter, so that's hard.
Cool.
That is hard.
Okay, so not only are you a singer, you're also a voiceover artist.
I am. Oh my god.
Please tell me more, because
voice. Okay, so voiceover, again, it was one of those things that someone told me years ago, like, oh, you should do voice acting, you've got a really good voice. And I was like, how do you even get into that? Like, what? Like, who do you go to? Do you know what I mean? It was just one of those things in the back of my head. Like, my friend is an actress, actually. Like, she's done like some incredible things, and she was doing it, but I was like, that makes sense because she's an actress. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense that her agent is going to speak to somebody and blah, blah, blah. Like, I guess it's just that world. So I just didn't know how to do it. And then a lovely, lovely girl who you've probably seen on the TL called Sifa. She was just running. Yes, she's this girl. She was running like a what would you call it? Like a kind of a talk on it, and I just saw it on Twitter. I'm not even kidding, I literally just saw it on Twitter. It had like a meetup link. I think it was free even. So I was like, it's just a Thursday afternoon, let me go and see like what's going on. And it was like filled with like she wanted like Black and Asian people to get more into it because there's much more of a demand for those type of voices. so that was, the talk was there. There was the guy that did I Care, the guy that does the wonderful Everyday. That brother was there. That brother, let me tell you, he's so inspirational. A guy called Stephen Connicard, he was there. A guy called Rio, he does a lot of Adidas. So and they were all talking, and Ramel London. And I was like, this is so amazing. Like I would love to do this. And then I went to Togo. I was like thinking about my life, and then I came home and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do it. So I saved my money. I got my voice reel done. And then I did a bit of freelance work. I got my first freelance job on Facebook. And then about a month later, I did another job on Facebook for Nike. And the agent for that asked to represent me. And that was it. Like from then, I've been working with her for about 9 months. And I've done Wembley, I've done Spotify, I've done the University of Surrey, Roehampton, Westminster, Cyberfirst. I've done so many. I've done Winnie the Pooh. I worked for the Royal Mint doing Winnie the Pooh. Like loads of big brands, like big brands. And it's just, I really love it. I can't even tell you. It's so much fun because I think I'm not a trained actress, but I've always been a bit dramatic, I suppose, and I've always had a dramatic kind of personality. So it does kind of suit. I know I need to train a little bit more. Like, there's some refinement that I've got to do, but so far, like I've been able to pick up a lot of things that use my natural voice. So people are asking me like, oh, like that's like Wembley, especially. They're like, oh, bit South London. Like, can you South London it up a bit more? Like, and you're like, huh? And then, like, they're just like turn it up. And you're like, what? And because sometimes, because I went to, I don't know if you've heard of Coloma. I went to that school, so I have a bit of an RP voice. I have a bit of a mix of an RP voice and a South London voice. So sometimes they're like, you sound a bit made in Chelsea, and you sound a bit Towie, but it kind of works. And I'm like, that's just my natural talking voice. I just naturally talk like it. Depends on who I'm talking to. I'm sure like you code switch and it just depends, but like in voiceover sometimes they just genuinely want your natural voice and they just tell you to exaggerate it a bit more, and that's it. So that's it really. Like I trained for about 6 weeks. I did a training course, and I practiced every day, and it's a lot of practice. It's not easy, by the way. It's quite difficult. It's a difficult skill, but I love it. I really do.
Wow. So which do you prefer? Do you prefer singing or voiceover?
The thing with singing and songwriting, I suppose, is that you don't always have, unless you're doing a show, you don't always have instant gratification. So you write a song, and then maybe like a year later, it starts to do well, or you start seeing some royalties, or do you know what I mean? You don't always have an instant reaction. Whereas with voiceover, it's like a week. You get your finished piece of work, and it's on the radio. Like my niece rang me one time, this is in summer, she rang me, she's like, Auntie Dede, I've just heard you on Kiss FM doing Westminster. I was like, what? And I did that maybe like 2 weeks before. And it's just it's that quick, you know. So I think I love it for the fact that I can see the work that I've done. You know, my Winnie the Pooh thing is on YouTube, and it has all these likes, and no one knows it's me because it doesn't have your name under it. But it's for little children. I've seen the animation that they've done for the children, and it's stuff like that, and it's really rewarding. So it's both, I suppose. Like with music, it's like eventually people are like, oh, you've written a good song, like 2 years later. But with voiceover, it's a bit more instantaneous, and also like it's really exciting because sometimes I don't get the script before, like I get the script maybe the night before, and sometimes I don't know who I'm working for, so I'll get a job, I'll book it, and then they're like, oh, by the way, it's for the Royal Mint and it's Winnie the Pooh, and this is the night before, and you're like, what? And then you've got your script sent to you, and then I have to, you know, and it's that quick, and then by 11 o'clock, then at 11:12 I'm in a room with 4 people from the company doing the job, like, and it's that crazy. So it's kind of it's quite mad, but I love it. Yeah, I do.
Oh, cool. Nice. So where can people find you on socials if they want to connect with you?
they want to connect with me, probably not on Twitter because I do the most. No, I'm joking. No, most of them is this is Dayday. So if you go to thisisdayday.com, you can find all of my socials. And then you can find me on Instagram. It's Dayday because I can't quite let my name go just yet. So on Instagram it's Dayday, but all the others is This Is Dayday. And you can find me on Twitter. You can stream my song on Spotify. You can find my other things on YouTube. And yeah, the more the merrier. Please join me.
Cool. And just for clarification, how do you spell Dayday, just for those who don't know?
Dede.
Okay, nice and simple. Dede.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Well, it's been great speaking with you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. And that was the lovely Dayday. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure. As usual, if you'd like to connect with me, you can on Twitter, Ms. JoJoB, MZJOJOB. And if you'd like to connect with That's My Tune, you can in the following ways. That's My Tune Pod on Twitter, That's My Tune Podcast on Instagram. And if you'd like to email, That's My Tune Podcast @gmail.com. There will be a bonus episode on Friday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Or should I say your ears? I don't know. But until then, have a great week and I'll be back. Bye.